Hello, Earthlings. Welcome to Alien Wizard Science. My name is Matt Worldly, and we are recording live from the greatest city in the entire world, Denver, Colorado. And today is my dog's, my little Chihuahua Corgi mix. Today is his 3-year anniversary of him passing away. And I shit you not, ladies and gentlemen, only 15 minutes ago did I realize this, that today is in fact that day when I had him put down. Someone came over, by the way, he's the one in the middle. Someone came over, a woman named Angel, surprisingly, came over and put him down as I held him in my arms. The saddest day of my life. God only knows how I am not bawling my eyes out right in this very moment. On the left is Bailey. That's my mom's dog. Bailey passed away on November 19th. On the left, did I say left? Okay. On the left is Bailey, my mom's dog, who passed away on November 9th. That was the day of my first Alien Wizard Science official show of 2025. And my mom called me in hysterics, and she said, Matthew, she said, Bailey's no longer with us. She's with the trio now, the trio that you see in this image. She's with the trio. I said, what happened? She said, Bailey was right at my feet. This big dog came around the corner. The owner had him on a leash. The dog pulled the owner to the ground and just came right after Bailey and that was it. Right in front of my mom. And I was just about to hit play on my practice run for my show that was on November 9th. And then that's when my mom called me in absolute hysterics. Now let's not leave out any... Oh, speaking of death, here is the skulls. Dia de los Muertos. But let's not leave out any of these pups here. On the right is Bella, a very sweet dog. They were the trio. They were the cutest puppies ever. They just never grew up. Any of them. They never grew up. They always had a puppy spirit. So goddamn cute. And today is Ray's 3rd anniversary of his death. And ladies and gentlemen, this one goes out to my dog. My literal dog, Ray Worldly. Who is inside of this necklace? Inside of this necklace is my dog's ashes, his fur, one of his toenails, a piece of sage, and there's a piece of a balloon inside of this necklace as well. And the balloon represents some flowers that he was buried with. He was buried with yellow flowers. And one day I went over to my mom's house after Ray had passed away, and there were balloons hanging over the kitchen table. And my mom said, Matthew, this is your early birthday present. She decorated the kitchen table for me, and there were balloons hanging above the kitchen table. And when I got to my mom's house, I saw Bailey and Bella, because they're still alive, the dogs on the left and the right of the photograph. And I started to cry because I just started to think about the trio and how cute they were together and how Ray was the first one to go out of all of them. So I cried. I sat down at my parents' kitchen table and I cried so hard. the hardest that I've ever cried in my whole life. And I sobbed. And I just let out the biggest wail. The biggest wail, the biggest I miss you wail. And the balloon above my head, the yellow balloon above my head, it popped. As soon as I let out that wail, the yellow balloon above my head that my mom hung for me in the kitchen table, it popped. And my dad, he thought I got mad, and he thought I popped the balloon because I was angry. But I told him no. I said I was so sad. My energy made the fucking balloon pop. And then later on, we were looking around for the, balloon pieces, and sure enough, there was this tiny little yellow shard of rubber balloon that was in the shape of the same yellow flower petals that I covered Ray with after he passed away. So that is in here. That moment is forever sealed in this necklace. It's crazy because today is 3 years and I almost forgot. I'm so caught up in life and everything that's going on, I almost forgot. The past 2 years I've been on top of it. I've been doing cool things to commemorate his life. This year I almost forgot. And don't mistake me for being hard on myself right now. This is more of just something I recognize and that I desire to speak to, which is how easy it is for life to just go on. How easy it is to forget. And I think remembrance is such a beautiful word because it sends this electrical feeling inside of the body. When you say the word remembrance, it just feels like your chest lifts up a little bit. Remembrance. I think that's an important theme because it's so easy to forget who we are, what we're capable of. It's easy to forget where we came from. It's easy to forget how much of a miracle life truly is. And remembrance is such a beautiful word. And I think as we progress into this crazy ass future, we cannot forget where we've come from. And we need to remember that at some point in time in history, some shit went down. Some extraterrestrial shit went down and helped, create these beings that we are today. These magical, innovative beings. Building pyramids and creating this technology, this unbelievable technology. This is truly a world for dreamers. If you're a dreamer, it's time for you to dream and to never look back. And that's what I'm doing right now in this moment. I'm dreaming with all of you. I have been so lonely for years in this laboratory, like a wizard stuck in a castle, all by himself, uncertain of how he's going to reach the outside world. But here I am. I've created this beautiful broadcast for us to share this experience together, to share authenticity, to share emotion, to share spontaneity, to share failure, to share exploration, to share it all. Ray, I know you're out there, bro. You're the greatest dog I ever had. I can't imagine a dog getting better than you, bro. I love the way that you would attack people on command. Whenever I would just point in a direction and I would say, "Who's there?" You'd perk up your ears and you'd get real feisty, and I'd say, "There they are, kill that motherfucker," and you just take off and you just start running in that direction, barking like a dirty, bloody hound dog. And I love you, dude. Happy anniversary, bro. 3 fucking years. Happy anniversary. Cheers to Bailey. Cheers to Bella. Let's move on with this experiment. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is Monday, and you know what that means. That means it is Kill Tony, Tipsy Mondays. Every Monday I like to smoke Denver's best weed, drink the greatest beer in the world, and watch Kill Tony, and order takeout. That's what I like to do. That's my morning routine. If someone were to assassinate me between the hours of, blank and blank, that's where I am. Blow it up. I'll fucking be there. You will get paid your bounty, if it ever comes to that. So, last night, ladies and gentlemen, I had one of the dopest live streams to date. And I featured this. I showcased this creation. Total success. And believe it or not, I'm going to take it down soon and build something else, because that's how civilizations evolve. That's how the world evolves. That's the beauty of this art form, is that it's like, wow, something can be so captivating. And then all of a sudden it's just taken away, and then something else is built. That's just as, no, it's on its own. Let's move on. So, needless to say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm chilling. I'm having a good time. I'm emotional. And if you're emotional, if you love crying, if you love being in your own world when nobody else is around, then cheers to you. And that's one of the things in my notes that I wanted to talk about with you guys. I wrote down something like, what do we do when we're alone? What are the traits about ourselves that we hide from the world? So I would, say for me, like, for example, I wouldn't say I hide it, but I love, every Monday I'm getting faded and I'm watching Kill Tony and I'm fucking chilling, right? But what about you? What are the things that you try to hide from the world that you would be embarrassed if the world saw you doing? Would you be like, oh no, I didn't want you to see me doing that. I'm so ashamed. Well, I think the truth is, those things that we find embarrassing about ourselves are more or less what we can all relate to. You know, we're all hiding behind this curtain and we're all showing up for society as who we think society wants us to be. And then behind the curtain, we just do whatever the fuck we want, you know? And I think there's a lot of beauty in that because that's where we all can relate. No matter what your heritage is or your culture or your fucking pronouns or your race or your gender, you know, we can definitely all relate to being human. And that's what I love about life. And if I wasn't an artist, I would be a psychologist. So, not to get off track here. So what are the things that I hide from the world? You know, I'll go first, right? I'm not going to tell you everything, obviously, Jesus Christ. But, you know, I scroll way too much on the fucking gram like an idiot. The first thing I do in the morning, you know, I could probably do more constructive things, but I have developed a great meditation, you know, routine that's implemented in all this chaos. I like to eat. I like to spend money on food and eat and watch good movies, and I tend to do that all alone in my little bubble. And yeah, ultimately, I mean, I'm in here a lot. I'm in this fucking laboratory just doing some crazy shit. Dreaming and dreaming. I'm fucking dreaming all the time. But I'm also embarrassed, you know, about myself, maybe the way I look, my weight, my lack of motivation, things like that. These things that I hide from the world. What do you hide from the world? Name 3 things to yourself and then take a deep breath in and say, wait a minute, these things aren't bad that I'm hiding from the world. They're absolutely relatable. And we're all going through the same shit, and we're all doing the same shit. We're all just doing it in our own way, in our own little niche way that makes us feel comfortable and helps us feel safe. And what I learned, I think what everybody learns eventually, whether you do plant medicine or you go to therapy, is there is this innate, beautiful child in all of us that is in need of something. And we don't always give the child what it needs. Instead, we give ourselves what we want. And the child is left tugging at our pant leg, saying, don't forget about me, right? So, in these moments, when we're hiding from the world in this comfort bubble, I think that comfort bubble is this universal bubble of not understanding the love or the attention that we need to receive. Stand by. Let's level out here. Let's level out. Let's take a moment to just breathe for a second. And let me say that again. Let me just say it a little bit clearer. Okay? This bubble that we hide ourselves in from the world, we don't want anybody to see sometimes the little things that we do, the things that make us feel comfortable and safe, right? What if that bubble is essentially a womb, you know? A womb that keeps us safe, right? And my question is, what are we being fed in the womb? What are we feeding ourselves in the womb? In these worlds that we create for ourselves, in the bubbles, the curtains that we hide behind with our habits, and who we're afraid to show ourselves, that side of ourselves. Every time we're in those positions, we're always like giving ourselves something that's not actually, that's just like numbing, that's really numbing everything. That's what I'm trying to get at here. That's why this is kind of difficult for me to just like, boom, here you go, baby. Like, right? That bubble of numbness is what all of us can relate to, is the whole point that I was trying to make. And ultimately, that bubble of numbness is a misunderstanding of what we really need to give ourselves to feel fulfilled. So we hide behind the curtain, we do this, we do this, we do this. Those things that we do, they don't actually fulfill us, right? However, there is an alternative. There is an alternative, but it takes courage to step into that alternative, because by God, it seems like this world is just designed to keep us down, you know? So to close this topic, to move on to my other notes that I want to mention, that one note went way too long. Jesus, this might be a 3-hour episode. Let me end that just with something kind of simple. I don't want to just like leave that hanging, because I feel like I was really going through something to make a point. So let me put the cherry on top. It is, for some reason, in this world we live in, an absolute struggle to give ourselves something that truly makes us feel fulfilled, instead of numbing ourselves. So just know that when you decide to better yourself, that it will be a struggle. The struggle just to feel normal is going to be a struggle. And you are a brave and courageous lion or lioness for doing so. Just know that the world, the odds are pinned against us. So, in our bubbles, We must all relate and work together. All right, that's it. All right, I'm fucking moving on. I'm moving on. It takes courage and bravery to sit here in front of a live recording and just spew shit and not want to hit stop. Okay, just know that. Know that. All right. I'll tell you what. Let's break this up for a second. I could probably keep talking. God forbid, that would probably be a terrible idea. Let's do something fucking cool. Let's go back on this table for a second. Let's cue up a little bit of music. Let's do a song and then come back and we'll talk about more of what's on my mind. I love you guys so much. Let's boogie. Let's see. What are we in the mood for? I'll tell you what I'm in the fucking mood for. You know what we're going to do? You guys aren't even going to believe this. You guys are going to be like, what the fuck? Here we go. Let's see what happens. You know, to be fair, that music is a little bit annoying. But sometimes it gets me in the mood. Sometimes it makes me feel a little frisky. And I've never done anything to that music before. I like to maybe make it a little bit mellow, chill vibe. But I thought, hey, why not? Throw a wrench into the equation. Because you know what? That's what life is all about. It's about being brave. And that takes me back to the point I was just trying to make earlier, is when we're in our bubble and we're in our little comfort zone, it's really hard to break out of that bubble because it's so comfortable to do something new, to do something that we're not sure is going to be successful or not. That takes a lot of courage. But I'm telling all of you right now, guaranteed you have that courage. 100% you have that ability to break out of your bubble. And the beautiful thing is that it only takes like little baby steps. That's all you got to do. You don't got to do something crazy. You just got to take a little baby step. Just alter, just make a little tiny adjustment in your everyday schedule and let God do the rest. Amen to that, brothers and sisters. So tonight, as I mentioned before, is Monday night. Every Monday night, I get buzzed. I smoke Denver's best weed, Green Dot. Shout out to Green Dot. And I eat Denver's, most delicious takeout. And I watch Kill Tony on my big screen TV. All right, that's enough of that bullshit. And, watching my last week's video back where I did this whole cross-faded transmission, I wasn't too ashamed of it. So I thought, you know what? Here I am, right? Here I am. Look at me. Brings me back to the point I was just making earlier. We're in this place of feeling ashamed where we don't want the world to see what we look like, behind the curtains. And then I'm just like, you know what? I don't give a shit. Maybe being faded and drunk and high every Monday isn't so bad. That's just what I like to do. I like to laugh my fucking ass off at Kill Tony, and I like to indulge. And I also love doing this, so I don't really want to not do this. So I think I'm just going to combine the two, and here we are today. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say shout out to Tony Hinchcliffe and Red Band, the creators of Kill Tony, because goddamn, they have created something so magnificent and so magical that is really all based on an improbability. It's all based, it's an all improv, and you never know what's going to happen. And from that, that's where stars are born, right? That's where stars are born. That's where the magic happens. When you don't know what's going to happen, when you just take a chance and you base, let's say, your every move on spontaneity and just the belief that whether you succeed or fail is going to be epic. If you base your life on that, then you just pretty much show God, the universe, that you are an unstoppable force and that it can throw at you whatever. Because as long as you have a foundation of awesomeness and belief that the universe is going to present something to you when you need it, it's truly just the best mentality to have in life. And that's what alien wizard science, that's what this art form is built on. It is truly built on spontaneity. Even when this shit blows the fuck up and it is world renowned and I'm on my private jets and I'm performing at Red Rocks, this art form will still be based in spontaneity. I will have created a chaotic formula where I'm confident enough to know that as long as the right pieces are in place, that I will be able to create magic on the fly for all of us to discover in real time. That is a rarity, and that is a gem, and that is something that people need to see more of, is taking chances in the pursuit of discomfort, or vice versa, in the pursuit of discomfort, taking chances, something like that. So here we are, and I have built a labyrinth over here, a legit labyrinth. I did this last night, and I had the time of my life. And when I reflected this image, you can see that it's just this queen with this beautiful crown on that's rotating. There's the little doggies in the background too for my projector. But when I went from this to this, I kind of get this like king and then queen vibe, or maybe vice versa. I'm not trying to discriminate or hurt anybody's fucking feelings. But here we go. This king and queen vibe is so badass. And I built this yesterday, and I'm so proud of it because it's so versatile. As I mentioned in a previous episode, maybe the one before this, I said, this looks really cool, but unfortunately, it's like not very versatile. It looks cool, not versatile. Meaning when the camera is like doing its thing, there has to be an assortment of, things that blow your mind, but also like grounded elements, such as these skulls that I've put in here. I want to say something really exciting to you guys. Just a couple days ago, I found this plastic contraption with all of these cylinder plastic pieces. I found it in the basement at Goodwill for $2 and came home and immediately made this platform for my skulls. And boy, oh boy, am I happy about it. I mean, and then I put these little, the same day I was at the thrift store, I also got these little gems that you see. The skulls I got at the Denver Gem and Mineral Show about 2 years ago. But these little gems I also got at Goodwill the same day. I got this cylinder platform. And I spent less than $5. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. So as you can see, this whole thing is upgrading. It's really coming together and it's becoming spectacular. And this is on a strobe right now because of the techno that I was playing earlier. I meant to point the camera at this while the techno was going, but I forgot. But I will learn and I will grow. And it will just get doper and doper. That I can absolutely guarantee. So, here we are. And I think I'm going to jump back into my notes, if you guys don't mind. Let's turn on some background music. Maybe like a nice song while I'm reading the notes. Maybe somebody will be inspired by my notes mixed with a nice song selection. You never know. You never know. Let's see here. Here we go. We're just going to do a random track. Here we go. Here we go. Testing 1 2 1 2. Matt Worldly live from Denver, Colorado. All right. I'm going to read some notes and you guys just chill, smoke a bowl, enjoy yourself, all right? Alien Wizard Science, taking over the motherfucking planet. Let's do this. I hate covers. I hate covers, honestly, not the covers with the blankets. Not the covers in your bed, I'm talking about song covers. Anytime I hear a cover, I'm like, get your own fucking song. Think of your own fucking idea. What the hell's your problem? There's this guy on Kill Tony. His name is a Mitch Hedberg impersonator. I guess, I promise, if I think of his name, I'll fucking say it. But he's a Mitch Hedberg impersonator, and he's a tough pill to swallow, because he goes on stage and he pretends like he doesn't know what anyone's talking about. He pretends like he's his own person, and that he's not copying Mitch Hedberg, which is not okay. What would be okay is if he were to say, bear in mind this is just my opinion, if he were to say, Mitch Hedberg is my favorite comedian of all time, and I desire to carry on the spirit of his ingeniality through comedy so that it rings into the souls of everyone throughout the end of time. Let's just say he were to say that. Then I would say, fuck yeah. But when you are blatantly trying to be like somebody else and then you claim you are not, then you are a goddamn motherfucking fraudster, okay? And when you're a goddamn motherfucking fraudster, you're a bad influence on the world. You're a bad influence on the world because you're showing people that it's okay to be a gimmick, and you're undermining everybody's potential to be somebody who they never thought they could be. Nobody has to be like anybody else. We are literally put on this planet. Each and every person on this planet has the ability to tap into something that nobody else could have ever thought of. And that's what makes life so extraordinary, is that out of the billions of people on this fucking planet, we can be individuals. And I speak from experience. And I don't think that I myself am an isolated incident. I truly believe that all of us are magnificent in our own way. We just have to cut through the bullshit that the world pours on us in order to unlock that. But we have been pinned up against the wall with so many goddamn distractions that it's like, what am I supposed to do? But I am here to say, from experience, that it's possible. I'm standing in a laboratory right now in Denver, Colorado. The floor is synced up with the music. Let me show you guys. Sorry to be abrupt, but let me show you guys. Let's just show you guys. And not to get too off track here, but when I say I speak from experience, like, I mean it. I can guarantee that on this whole fucking world, in this whole world right now, that there is nobody like me. There is nobody that has collected this much glass. There is nobody that has combined this technology with their experience of alien art and their love for nature and God knows what, and combined it all into this moment. I myself am a living, breathing example of a completely unique specimen on this planet. There is absolutely nobody like me. And I would bet my motherfucking balls on it. I have had so many experiences in this gorgeous life that have said, Matt, there's something so beautiful, so magnificent about this life. something unfathomable beyond the veil of the reality that you think you know. And my creative pursuit has just been to get closer and closer to that entity, to that reality, whatever's going on the other side of the veil. That's my dream, is to get closer to that entity. And I personally think that it's a dragon. Does anybody else get that vibe? That it's a dragon? It's kind of what all my sources have pointed to. As much as we'd like it to look like a human, it's very unlikely. It's going to be more like a dragon. Now, the first thing, if somebody said that to me, the first thing I would say is, what the hell are you talking about? What do you mean God would be more like a dragon than a human, you know? Maybe God just looks like one of us, and he's just like, hey, I want to create a bunch of me and made a fucking world, and everybody's eating a pizza and smoking a weed and having a good time. No, I think God looks absolutely nothing like us. I believe God is more of a dragon, and somebody would say, well, what the fuck? Where did that idea come from? My answer is simple. The answer is fossils. The answer is fossils, okay? Some of you are familiar with David Icke. He's an old British man that claims that the elite are reptilians. Some find this absolutely absurd. Where does this idea come from? What an absolutely kooky son of a bitch. And while that is partially true, what if we were to base his theory in complete simplicity and just go back to the origins of where we came from before humans and apes ran the planet? What was before that? Dinosaurs, reptilian beings. Who is to say? Why are we so out of our own minds that we think that this reptilian origin is not still present in today in some form or another, whether it's in a genetic code or a bloodline or personality types, et cetera, et cetera. Like, that's the weird thing about history, is we seem to go through history thinking that history doesn't repeat itself, or that the relevancy of history has no potency in today, which is the most absurd, egotistical, entitled way of thinking that I think all of us are responsible for. We think that because the past is the past, that the future is the future. But that's not true. The past is the future, and the future is 100 motherfucking% the past. Okay? Just to simplify what I'm saying, I feel so crazy. Like, why do I have to reiterate these things to the world? Not you. You're watching because you know. But for the rest of the world that's just catching up, watching this video, 2 years from now, damn it, should have went with my gut. I am here to say history repeats itself. And when we look at ancient artifacts, and there is clearly, alien-looking beings in these artifacts, why do we dismiss that? I mean, these aren't people just creating art. Granted, that is a distinct possibility. But on a global level, when all of the art looks the same and tells relatively the same story, then there's something going on. So, that's what I'm, remembrance, the theme of remembrance, as I mentioned at the beginning of this transmission, is super important. Because the past is the future, Just to elaborate a little bit more on this topic. When something is discovered about the universe, right? Let's just use one quick example and then go right back to the broader example. Any businessman that discovers a way to enhance his business is never going to go back to an old business trait or quality that he used to have, because we all desire to progress, make more, become more powerful, have more sovereignty, independence, whatever. Throughout history, when ancient civilizations have learned what's really going on in this universe, that perhaps God is a dragon inside of an experiment, and people are operating on the dragon's mind and implanting ideas inside of the dragon's mind, and then going inside of it and exploring all these different cells that are also galaxies and universes, and creating little colonies of UFOs to go out and explore the mind of this dragon, and all of the universe is inside of its mind, to bring back intelligent or to bring back information to the experimenters to learn more about this being, who actually in the actual fuck knows what's going on. But let's just say that's a possibility, right? Then I completely forgot what I was talking about. So anyway, I actually just remembered. So over time, if elite people or whoever, information is discovered about what's really going on in the universe, if that is discovered over time, that information is not just tossed to the side. Oh, really? The universe is actually a dragon? Oh, okay, cool. No. Oh, this is actually all a dream and we're all just a simulation? Oh, cool. No. These tidbits of information that have been discovered by our ancient ancestors have now been inherited by these fucking businessmen, essentially, who are controlling the world. And they have no interest in spirituality. They have no interest in, our roots of where we come from, astrologically. They have no interest in that. It's definitely a business for them. It's reality for us, but it's business for them. And I hope this is all clicking, and I hope this is all making sense to you. I think right now the most important thing we could do is take a bong rip. Let's go. Should we take a bong rip and dance? Because that sounds cool. Let's take a bong rip and dance together. Here we go. Bong rip and dance. By the way, happy February 2nd, everybody. The 3-year anniversary of when my dog passed away. Literally the coolest dog you've ever known in your life. All right, let's jam for a minute and I'll be back. Is it just me, or is that whole like 80s nostalgia vibe just that whole woman 80s nostalgia pop? It's just so hypnotic to me. You know, like Shannon, let the music play, you won't get away. It's just like, oh, like I can't get enough of it. So that's where all this new wave, you know, looking stuff has come from. You know, I'm just here trying to make things look vintage as fuck, trying to, you know, hopefully make you guys feel like you're this part of this timeless experience. Who knows, you know? But all I can say is shout out to everybody in the world, especially those of you working minimum wage jobs. Minimum wage jobs. It's been a minute since I've said minimum wage. Sorry about that. For those of you working minimum wage jobs, shout out to you. Shout out to you. And thank you for contributing. And may your minimum wage job be just a step in your journey to your wildest dreams. All right, here we go. One more bong rip. This one's for Jesus, and then we're going to do something. I don't know what the fuck we're going to do. All right, stand by. I be smoking that good shit, y'all. Shit's stanky. You know what I'm saying? We gotta like sage this bitch off. Get rid of them motherfucking evil spirits and shit. You know what I'm saying? Fucking evil spirits. Bitch ass evil spirits. Alright. Let's sage this place off. How you guys feeling out there? Need I remind you that for years I have spent countless hours in this laboratory. Granted, it did not look as fucking cool as it does right now, but I have spent countless hours in this laboratory doing these crazy light experiments all by myself. And my God, has it been lonely. And now that I just get to hang out in here and make it this weird, cool, live broadcast thing, you know, transmission, whatever, my dreams have come true. Because at any point in time, we could make a magnificent discovery together. Or we could share a thought that we all resonate with. You know, I could burp. And you could burp at the same time. And that proves that God is real. And that synchronicity is just our ancestors whispering through us across the universe. That's real talk. Okay? That's real talk. Okay, I need to splash water on this. You guys hang tight. Check this out. So this entire setup, this elaborate setup, is kind of like version 3 or 4 of an idea that I had, and it's evolving. And you guys, I'm so pumped. I mean, I can't tell you, like, you know, just after watching last night's episode, I had no idea that Ray was going to show up in this ball right now, upside down like this. This is truly magical. Truly magical. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. God damn it. Oh yeah. Yeah, I built this. Yeah, here we go. Okay, I caught it. I'm back on track now. After watching last night's broadcast, I said, okay, here's what I need to do differently. I need to switch out some objects more. So let's say tonight I decided not to talk. Well, then I would take this out while the music is playing. Boom, there's my hand. How cool is that? And then you're taken away from that cosmic experience. And then all of a sudden, boom, I put a new object on the table. And it's a whole nother universe. It's a whole nother world. And now I'm going to do away with the doggy background and go back into this flashy background that we had before. And now we're in a completely different world. So, that's the accessibility that I'm trying to create here. Being able to change up stuff so quickly. So here we are. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the beta streaming of Alien Wizard Science. Here we are. No, you have not lost audio. It has just gone silent, but music will be playing momentarily. I was about to cut it short. I thought, wow, what a great ending. As if I made that song, I'm just like, oh yeah. No, we can't end it this way. You know why? Because I think I have a little bit more beer left. Literally just backwash at this point. This has been quite the adventure, and I'm pretty sure there are some notes that I wanted to touch on before I left. So, let's just jump into this. The breathing, the ins and the outs of this experience, and the uniqueness of Mondays, because I'm never going to do this show intoxicated like this. Only on Mondays, maybe sometimes. So, consider this a rare glimpse into my soul. Consider it a vulnerability, not afraid to show people what I look like when I'm behind the curtain, in my little safe place, in my little fetus position, in the womb, fully protected, partially afraid of the world and what it could do to me. But here we are today, on Alien Wizard Science, learning that it takes courage and bravery to break away from the mundane. So, here we are. And here are some more notes just to leave you with. Happy February 2nd, everybody. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. I touched on that. Yeah, I touched on that. Oh, okay. Ooh. I guess I'm fucking hotter than I thought tonight. Oh. Yeah, well, I wrote down here so much can change from slightly shifting our perspective, which is true, Oh my God. I'll be damned. I'm going to have to edit that part out, everybody. Anyway, so much can change from slightly shifting our perspective. And let's put this simply, because it's the end of the episode. This is the longest transmission so far. But this is where I came up with this idea, okay? I'm going to put you guys on the table. And then I'm going to show you guys this. And then I'm going to reflect this. And then this is what it looks like reflected. There you go. Cool, right? That's fine. Who cares? Now I want to show you what it looks like reflected when I shift perspectives, okay? Now I'm just going to shift the perspective. I'm going to move the neck of the camera to right here. Now look how much has changed by shifting my perspective, the lens of this camera, which is ultimately, just like our eye, a lens, seeing the world, molding our reality. And the point that I'm trying to make here is that a little bit goes a long way. A little tiny shift of perspective goes a long way. It can be overwhelming and scary at first, but a little bit of perspective change is good for the soul, says the guy with the bong. All right? And boom, here I am. And how about that? Like what's going on here? What in the holy hell is going on here? Look at this. Here I am. Now I'm a labyrinth of glass. And now here I am again. You see the point that I'm trying to make? There is a dimension, a sliver of time. And on the other side of that sliver is a completely new reality. And only when we slightly shift our perspective is when we perceive that unique reality. And that unique reality can be our creative outlet. It can be a conversation with our heart. It can be a conversation with our ancestors from another world. It can be anything. It can be anything. So That's why I love reflections. I know there's something to reflections. You go out in nature, you take a picture of something, you reflect it, it looks like faces and people. Don't be fooled. That's not what it looks like. That's what it actually is. Somehow we can tap into another dimension by reflecting things. What do you mean? Well, here's what I mean. Here's our reality. Here's this incredible other colorful reality which we're not even perceiving on this plane. That's a thing. That's a thing. I know y'all are feeling that shit. I know it. All right, here we go. Okay. This has been a great episode, but one more thing I want to say to you guys. Maybe, maybe not. There is a room of people who transpire against the entire world. Some of the smartest psychologists in the entire planet sit at some table and, I don't know, smoke cigars and eat babies. I don't know, but they're doing something. But they have their doctorate in psychology. They're the most world-renowned psychologists in the world, and they study human behavior, and they study all of us, and they study our mind, the totality of like a culture, Here's my machete. Here's me cutting through the bullshit. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. There is legit a room full of old fucking people, maybe up-and-comer, little fucking yuppity Harvard graduating motherfuckers on this planet that work for a part of this world that controls the many of us. The few that controls the many. That's a real thing. And it's psychological. And I just desire to say in this moment, choosing a side in times like these is exactly what they desire. It is cognitive dissonance. It is playing off of your emotions and your empathy for other people. It is everything that you don't even know about yourself that they have studied to its core, and you are acting out an emotion, and it is turning you against your family members. It's turning you against the world. And here they are up here like puppeteers looking down at us like a bunch of fucking idiots, and we're just playing along to their song. We're just dancing like little puppets in their stupid fucking song. And then if it is not obvious by now, no matter what side you're on, the left or the right or the up or the down, it doesn't fucking matter. The only thing that matters is that we can relate to each other, and that we just want peace and love and unity. We want love and justice for all. We want freedom. We want free speech. We want all these things. It's very important to us. But it's so important that in the pursuit of all this stuff, we don't pick a side, because both sides work for the same captain. We, as humanity, have to be our own captain against this authoritarian, crazy, psychological, totalitarian psyop mind game that is being bestowed upon us. And I may sound like I eat a lot of LSD, but I don't. You know what I do? Is I just sit like a fucking owl on a branch, and I just look around, and I'm just like, who the fuck do these people think they are? You know, these motherfucking rich people, these fucking presidents of the United States, these fucking phonies, these puppets, who the fuck do they think they are? Treating us like dumbasses. Ladies and gentlemen, I am one of many. I have a feeling in my heart that this 2026 is going to be the year of standing up to the bullshit, demanding justice and accountability, for evil and fraud. Do not pick a side. Do not judge me. Only God can judge me. We, as humanity, can only love and accept each other for where we're at because we're doing the absolute best that we can. Take that to the grave. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Matt Worldly. This is a Nappy Roots hat. God bless America. Thank you for hanging out with me. Peace, love, and light refractions.